Do you want some tips on how to paint a dog's eyes? I just finished this painting last night, and so for the iris, I like to paint the top third of the iris dark. And notice how I attach the super darks of the shadow under the eyelash to the dark of the pupil. And so the top third of the iris is dark, the middle third is a brighter color like orange, and then the lower third is lighter. And I do that by either painting it lighter or lifting out that area, or after the paint is dried, I'll use a scrubber like this brush, which is a stiffer acrylic painting brush. I'll get it wet, the paint is dry, and you can scrub out the lower third to make it lighter. And that really adds some interest. And then to finish off an eye, and an eye is just like a miniature painting. So the same process that you use on the larger painting applies to an eye. And what is the final stage of the painting process? It's adding jewelry, the fine little details, which I talk about in all my tutorials. I talk about the first stage where you're putting in the underpainting, the second stage where you're working through the ugly stage, and the final stage where you're putting in all the jewelry and final details, and most importantly, balancing the values. And so the jewelry in this eye is these little white glints and the white eyelashes, which I did that by using white gel pen. You can also get that effect by using masking applied with a rigger before you start the painting. So that's another way. And it's so funny about how with watercolor, you can paint the same thing 10 different ways. You can paint wet and dry, you can paint wet and wet like I painted all this. You can paint kind of like in a printer method where you start at the top and you work your way down. There's so many different ways to paint. And that reminds me, I do have a really cool free tutorial on my YouTube channel about how to paint a Christmas ornament 3 different ways. So be sure to check that out. And if you're interested in that free tutorial, it's a great one with the holidays coming. It will give you a tutorial that you can use to paint Christmas cards. Just leave me a comment and ask me for my Christmas ornament tutorial link. And I'm glad to share that in the comments. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And now go watercolor your world. Bye, everybody.